chin and he steals the Baron. How does that connect by anyway?
Fini. As EU Masters champions.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Amazon EU Masters. As you can see, we've done a bit of a switcheroo here on the cast. I'm Hiprain and I am joined by Trouble as we're getting ready to go into our fourth game of the day. The stakes are incredibly high, Trouble. So Illuminar versus Big. There is potential for a team to be knocked out here. Talk to me, give me those stakes.
So Illuminar desperately need the next 2 wins straight into their pocket to have chances to advance through to the quarterfinals. And this is the most important game because they're playing against the team of interest that they want to knock out so they can go through themselves. So Big, coming from the Prime League, absolutely the superior team in the Prime League. They absolutely crushed it, went through the playoffs like a breeze, and they're supposed to be the next big thing coming from the German region. And there is a chance that if they lose to Illuminar right here, they're going to get knocked out from the Ultraliga. So all hands on deck. This is a very important game. This is most likely the most important game for today.
And it feels to me like when we started last week at the Amazon EU Masters, it was Fnatic were the team who, you know, we had expectations but Big were going to be, you know, the top seed from this team. But Fnatic started this weird trend of finding the win, and now Big potentially looking into a really scary position here. Illuminar plays versus Fnatic earlier today. They did beat Fnatic in their first matchup, but Fnatic did find a response here. So it's really put onus on this game to be very important for both of these teams. They both need to find this win. And I mean, it's such an amazing game versus Illuminar. So they've got a lot to recover from because they got absolutely smashed. And yes, we have seen a game from Big today, but that was versus Z10, who haven't found a win yet. So it's fairly hard to kind of judge the power of them today. Obviously, we did have games prior to that. They beat Illuminar previously, and lost to Fnatic. So it's interesting. All of the top 3 teams have all beaten each other so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I just want to reiterate how important this game is for the likes of the Ultraliga fans and the Premier League fans. For the Premier League fans, that's your last chance. That's your last team. That's your one big ticket to the quarterfinals for the German region, for the DACH region. And it is Big. It is the one team that everyone put all of their eggs in their basket when it came to possibly winning it all. We even saw the code say that it's possibly going to be, you know, a double trophy for either Misfits, Common Corp, or us, which is big. So there's just a lot of pressure on their back. And on the other side, Illuminar, Ultraliga reigning strong right now, already having one team going through, if I'm not wrong, and then they're going for the second one, and knocking out Big is going to be a big deal for them as well. As for Fnatic Rising, I found that you said it in a really fun way. You're like, somehow Fnatic Rising started winning. That's insane.
Look, I'm used to them domestically. For anyone who
I was about to say,
it's been a disappointing year for Fnatic, but we're not talking about Fnatic right now. We are talking about Illuminar and Big as we're into the champ select. The Aurelia being the first ban here from the side of Illuminar. Now, you were talking to me watching that last game going, it's actually a pretty good counter pick into the Kennen. That could potentially signal towards an early Kennen pickup. We've seen a lot of priority rising over the last 2 weeks in this tournament. Jace also getting banned away. Things that can deal with him at range here, Trouble.
I was about to say, this seems like a back-to-back. I'm gonna ban a lot of champions that do well into a Kennen lane, which are both Jace and the Aurelia. And I'm not sure if it's going to be a first pick Kennen, because there's other things that might be left open. The first thing that comes, and the Kennen.
Just ban it anyway.
All right.
Well, it won't be first picking it because they banned it. So we'll see what the final ban here is from the side of Big. A lot of attention towards the top lane as the Camille ban came up from Big. They did throw out that Thresh ban, something we are used to. We'll see if they look just to go towards the jungle pool here, if they're going to leave everything open. Nope, don't want to be giving Chris that lead sin, but there is still things like the Viego open, which obviously have the Trundle, which has been playing fairly regularly. But Chris goes, screw that, I want to first pick the Nidalee.
First picking Nidalee into the likes of Viego, into the likes of Zhao. This is so incredibly scary. This has to be matched with some really strong AD solo laners. The ones that come to mind right now is possibly the Renekton, possibly the Set. Two champions that technically do pretty well in a blind pick, but insta-locking the Nidalee Chris and Illuminar are putting so much faith into the jungle to carry them through, because the rotation from being came in really strong. Rakan, one of the S tier supports that are being blind picked so often, and of course Zhao, probably like the best jungler in the league right now.
They are going to pick the Tristana up there. If anything, that's a denial for Keduii. We've seen the Rakan and Tristana quite a lot actually, and it is a pretty nasty combo. So big takeaway there from them. And following up with a Renekton pickup here is technically flexible between mid and top, seeing on what Big decide to go for here. And we'll see what Big's final rotation here is in this first pick phase. They could just pick themselves up a solid AD carry. There are still a fair few things open. If they want to, you know, look to unlock seaz, they could go for the Ezreal and just put Keduii quite comfortably in the bot lane. They could also go for something like a Ziggs if they want, but it looks like they're going to get their hands onto this Gnar. A little bit worried about that Renekton getting even more topside bans taken away, considering how heavy top has already been banned out. So going to pick that one up for Melonik. And now we're into ban phase 2, and it looks like the jungle support pool, is going to get pinched out by Big.
And I'm wondering what they're choosing to do with this Gnar, because we saw Mouse swapping their mid lane and top lane a lot. I'm wondering if they choose to like move Melonik possibly in the mid lane to match the likes of the Renekton, because we know Rika does like to play a lot of these mages. He could end up going for something like the Silas here. Not the best into this particular combo of ultimates. You get the Buster Shot, and of course the big ultimate from Renekton wouldn't be too bad in a team fight. But the only melee I can think of right now is the Silas, other than his Rise, of course, being open, one of his most played picks, something that he's really known for. So we'll have to wait to see about that.
Yeah, we are going to see that Ezreal banned away. I think it's probably an understandable one, followed up by the Varus as well. So Keduii kind of has to now look towards something else if you want something safe. And something I completely forgot exists is actually this Xayah. Really solid laning phase with that Rakan. You obviously got that extra jump synergy with the range on the Rakan. Got that very powerful start, but can look to go elsewhere if they want. They could go for something like a Ziggs and give an AD mid, but no, they are going to just ping back towards that Xayah and get themselves a solid 2v2 in the bot side. Now Illuminar, it's really on them to find themselves something nice here, something they can put down in that bot lane with this Tristana. Again, technically, Trist can flex into the mid lane if they want.
Yeah, for Illuminar, I think it's very clear what they want to do, right? They just want to jump in and kill you. So the Leona and the Nautilus bans right there were spot on. The ones that are left were like something like the Rell, something like the Alistar that can go into the Rakan. And they're going to be troublesome for Rakan and Xayah in the lane. On the other hand, from Big, you can see that they're picking peel, and then they can have the re-engage with the Gnar, with the Rakan. They have so much survivability and so much move backwards power with the likes of the Zhao and the Xayah. And this Renekton is going to end up going to the top side of the map, because we're going to have the Orianna lock in here. And this is a little bit worrying, because having Orianna in the mid lane sort of takes down a little bit of that early game power. And I'm seeing power in the top side of the map for Illuminar, power in the bot side of the map for Illuminar, and Chris is going to have to choose where he's going to have to put his coins and in which basket.
Also, if you think kind of damage profile here, I love that Galio pickup. When you're looking at double AP mid jungle, Galio is going to be really effective into that post 6, the ability to join into jungle skirmishing. Really, really solid. Both of these teams have some pretty nasty team fighting. You obviously got that magnet wave combo between the Rell and the Orianna, but then you've got things like Rakan jumping in with a Galio following up, you're the Gnar. Both of these teams have incredibly scrappy teams. I'm really excited to see how they're going to fare out, but let's kind of talk a little bit earlier and look a little bit earlier into the game. Trouble, what are our expectations for the early stages of this game?
Right, so with the Nidalee, you technically need some priority lanes, and technically the Gnar is going to be poking away onto the Renekton, so you don't expect to have it there. The Orianna does have a burst, but does lose a lot of mana trying to outpush a Galio. That pushes much easier due to his passive, the little punch that he does on the floor. And of course, you've got the Xayah Rakan combo. This one might be the one that's going to get pushed in, so we could technically see the Nidalee playing towards the bot side, which is the kill side of the map. If you're playing the Nidalee as well, you've got a bunch of setup with the Rell, and of course the all-in with Tristana. But we're gonna go into game again. Stakes. This is the most important game of the day. Illuminar have to absolutely win this if they want to keep their dreams alive for quarterfinals. They don't yet lock in, but they absolutely need to win this to stay in.
Yeah, this is a must-win game for Illuminar, the second seed from the Ultra Liga from Poland, taking on the first seed from the Prime League in big is Akabane taking 2 spears to start this off. Not the greatest omen, but not going to be going down or anything. Just Chris being a bit of a nuisance.
Hiprain, I remember you working with the Orianna Rell combo. What was it again?
Magnet Wave, or you got Shock Storm?
Magnet Wave. I think Magnet Waves, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, I like
Shock,
both.
Shock Storm. Shock Storm is better.
pretty sick as well.
Yeah.
Because you got that big suck in, and then you got the second one from the Orianna ball. You put the ball on the Rell.
Shock
really
Storm
nasty
is the best.
little combo. Shock Storm's sick. I'm big fan. Big fan.
Okay, I'm gonna look forward to you using this one.
Same. Hopefully we get it. The amount of times where I'm like, oh, I got a really cool combo name, and then it just never gets fired off. We had a Yone and Yasuo combo in the UK LC at one point, and they never ulted off each other.
Who plays Yasuo and Yone together, Matt? Anyway.
They won. I just put it out there. They won. It was a troll game, but they won. It was amazing.
All right. Well, both junglers starting from the bot side of the map and gonna end up towards the top side, and this is going to mean that priority in the mid lane is going to be paramount for these two junglers, especially if they want to go at it for the top side Scuttle Crab, which you see that the top side of the map has been heavily warded from the side of big, keeping the Gnar safe so he can shove in early towards the Renekton, the melee to range that we always yap about. It's such a big deal because you can see the Gnar lane is pushing in, the Galio's been pushed in a little bit early, but he's gonna be fine later on to wave clear much easier. And you see that Nidalee is matching the speed of Zhao, if not slightly faster than the Zhao. The reason why Nidalee, of course, has come off of the meta just a little bit is because the camps are in this in-between timer where they don't respond too quickly, and she's a very quick clearing jungler, so she can like snowball of clearing and clearing and clearing. And she's not the best ganker either, she needs setup. So they're in this in-between where she has to wait a little bit. She's also not the best ganker, so she falls into that category where if you don't do a lot of stuff early game, if you don't manage to match the aggression, get something going, get the Nidalee ahead, she kind of falls off in the later stages of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one lesson that I learned from Orcs, and I'll never forget, is the Renekton Nidalee combo is disgusting. So
especially under tower.
Yeah, because like you're saying, you want that ability to, you know, get that setup. Renekton pretty good at setting up. He's got that dash. You get the double dash off, lock you in place so the spear connects, and then obviously you got that bonus damage coming in from Chris on the Nidalee. Not actually playing towards the top side though. It's just going to bolt bot side as Akabane wasting a little bit of time trying to scout out the jungle camps. And actually, LeQu might be in a little bit of trouble here. Akabane's going to come forward. Escik does have that teleport available if necessary, but...
Well, if you look at the mid lane...
We're going to lock him down, he slices, he heals up, Akabane finds the knock up, and there it is, first blood.
Beautiful. And if you looked in the mid lane, Rika had his sights onto Escik the entire time. He's like, if this Orianna even tries to go in for the teleport, I'm gonna make sure to interrupt either with a taunt or with a dash. Really good stuff right there from Akabane. He knew that if the Nidalee starts bot lane. Oh, here we go.
Coming in bot lane, they're looking for Keduii, but they got the teleport to work. They see us looking for the knock-up. They find themselves the Blade Cooler onto Xayah, and he will be going down momentarily as the rest of Big look to hook for a kill. Xayah still running away, still got that flash, and Xayah getting away with murder here, but seaz does have the ignite. He's not going to jump in forwards, and Illuminar forced the teleport out for free, which is going to give some free time over to LeQu on the top side, but it does look like maybe they might look for the quick turnaround.
Oh,
as Keduii now got the flash, has got the heal. They're going to jump in. They're looking for the lockdown. They're looking for the knock-up. Now the teleport's being used to the other side as they're able to find the kill. Chris looking for that turnaround. Escik's very, very late to that fight. The spear not going to hit.
Well, they tried it again, but this time XCharm ends up going down. You said he got away with meta where he ends up going down. And in all honesty, I feel like that TP was pretty good for Melonik. LeQu was forced to TP back into his lane after he died, and then Melonik had the ability to go down both the teleport because Akabane went up to the top side and soaked in all that wave pushed in by the Renekton. This is number 2 going in the Keduii. Beautiful heal just at the edge of that slow right there coming in. And of course, I think I need to give so many props to seaz for this entire play, for double these 2 ganks, because he made sure that ZAMULEK was not able to do anything by jumping in, but trying to make some damage. His knockups this game on Rakan have been on point, and all in all, I feel like Big are way ahead of the play because they knew exactly where the Nidalee was gonna start. And remember, it's so important, you need to stop Chris from making plays early on. And so far, it's Akabane that has been successful in not only making the plays, but he's very far ahead in experience as well. He should be very close to 6. And that Zhao is so much more useful later on in the fight than this Nidalee will be.
Absolutely. And you saw in that last fight as well the power of the extra range on the battle dance that you get on Rakan when you're with the Xayah, because he was a long way away. But now Melonik is going to go for the Gnar. LeQu looking to chase in, goes for the flash, the lockdown, the spear connects as Melonik loses Mega, so he loses some stats here. Chris is looking for the execute, and he's able to do it. LeQu secures the kills. Chris takes the tower shot. That was very close, but he will survive.
Yeah, and we saw the combo that you mentioned as well. They stun into the guaranteed spear in all the damage. Melonik almost gets away right there, but this is gonna definitely cost him because the Renekton is gonna be able to proxy another wave. He's already shoved in one under Melonik's tower. He's gonna be ahead in experience. He's gonna be ahead in gold, and he grabbed the plate as well. So this Renekton must be well and truly fed right now. And the second he comes back to lane, you should expect Chris to be back because Melonik's flash is still not up.
Yeah, Chris has to be a little bit careful though, because he is on the receiving end of multiple people in his jungle. Rika got the ultimate and got a really long flank there coming in onto Chris. Meanwhile, fight breaking out on the other side. Flash goes down by Chris, but XCharm will lose his life to the bot lane duo. Keduii secures the kills. Escik comes in with a shockwave onto Akabane. Akabane able to jump away for the moment. ZAMULEK can't chase for more, but Chris, he's hungry for blood here. Can he find the spear? The red buff is ticking. The slow's not enough, and now Chris has to jump over the wall, able to do and get away from Rika as Akabane able to heal up. The spear eats up by Rika. They are continuing this here. Jumping into the taunt, and Chris may have bit off a little bit too much there. They're jumping in. Here's the Galio, the slam down. Rika finds the kill, finds the knock-up, the justice punch. It's a grand entrance, a heroic entrance. It's a beautiful start to the game for Big.
Honestly, I'm really sorry, Illuminar fans, but Big outplayed the sheesh out of that situation. That was so well done. The back and forth, the cooldowns, Keduii in trouble.
Yeah, he has been jumped onto, but he's got his support coming in. Great little reposition there actually by ZAMULEK to get away from the feathers to make Keduii kind of useless as the butter shot. The feathers catch onto XCharm. Rika's coming in with a taunt, and he gets away with murder. Keduii, beautiful outplay.
How in the world does Big keep getting away with it? This is absolutely nasty. Rika had to come down from his mid lane with 0 HP and 0 mana. And again, you see this. Chris thinks it's safe for him to go in. He sees the taunt being channeled, he still goes in. And the second this stops him, he goes back to human form. Akabane walks back in and charges forward because Rika has the ultimate available. Then that gives time for seaz to roam all the way from the bot side of the map to secure that second kill. But this is beautiful again from Big. Keduii tanks all the damage. This is just ZAMULEK. XCharm hasn't had the chance to actually go in, and by the time they do, Keduii has his flash up and available. The double shield right there from seaz saves the day, and Rika comes in with 10% HP and mana to finish the deal. Really, really, really great coordination coming in from Big. Beautiful stuff.
I actually think that buster shot was what doomed XCharm. I think it pushed him so far away, but the feathers were then pulled in quite tightly. Oh, that is so painful for XCharm. Does look like Illuminar are going to try their hopes at starting the Rift Herald, but I'm going to quickly call that one off as the Support has roamed over seaz with the quickness. Charm hasn't actually got that Magnet Storm available, so it does need to be a little bit careful on that front. It does look like Akabane's quite happy just to start this one up.
Shock Storm?
Well, Magnet Storm is Charm's ultimate. So it's a Shock Storm if you have
the Orianna ultimate as well, of course, yeah. So the problem right here is that we said from the start, we set it up as Chris needs to make plays. He's got a lot of setup in the bot lane with the all-in Orianna and the Rell. And he's got a lot of setup in the top lane with the stun from the Renekton and the all-in into possibly a mini Gnar. This Nidalee has fallen ridiculously behind. 1 level, 5 CS. Now the Reef Child going into the pockets of Akabane. He barely has a couple of pieces of his item, whilst Akabane on the Zhao has the Gore Drinker. He can literally tank an army right now, because if you look on the side of Illuminar, no one even has items to try and do any damage to this Zhao. There's a Lost Chapter onto the Orianna together with Tia, there's a Pickaxe onto the Tristana, there's a bunch of small items to the Renekton as well, and Gore Drinker can be sat a huge item, all the HP, all the lifesteal that you're getting from it, and the passive as well. It's just so huge to have your Zhao being so far ahead. This is why we also kind of got shocked by the prioritization on the Nidalee in the draft, the blue 1 pick that came in from Illuminar. We have yet to see it make work.
Yeah, it was a bit of a strange first pick, and Big probably agree with that one actually, because they have just been ready to play around it. They were given the Rakan and the Zhao as their first rotation, and both of those champions have been used incredibly effectively. Now LeQu gonna pop the Dominus, may look to try and clear the wave out, but he's gnarred into the wall, he's taunted up, he will be losing his life. Tries to go for the heal, it's a lot of healing coming out actually, as Chris tries to jump in, can't find the killer response though, as the spear dodged away. LeQu bought a bunch of time, but Escik was just too slow to the punch. No teleport for him. That is all she wrote. Unless Escik wants to go in on Melonik, but I don't think they're going to do it.
It's just that Big is reading the map so well. Oh no, Charm.
I think that's one dead horsey.
Is it 3rd times the Charm? Because that was the 3rd death.
Maybe? He just got caught sleeping. That's it. I have nothing to say. He just got caught sleeping there.
Yep, absolutely. I think Big, again, are reading the map so well. They saw Escik TP into the mid lane. They're like, cool, no TP on Orianna. We can make a play top. Even if Nidalee shows up, the triplet between Gnar, Zhao, and Galio are so strong. And Galio still has ultimate, and he's roaming towards the both side of the map. You think you can get this red buff? ZAMULEK, where are you going?
He's looking to jump into Rika, but he might just get ZAMULEK right now. And there's the Magnet Storm, but it's a heroic entrance following the grand entrance, and Big find themselves a kill on. Oh, Xayah actually is the one who's going to go down here. It's actually Big looking to try and get some revenge for their support. They're forcing Rika has to jump away, gets himself this Justice Punch on the ZAMULEK, and now he's going to go down to Keduii. Able to find himself a return kill. 1 for 1 actually. It looked way worse, but Chris being zoned away. Akabane doing a great job of just buying time for his team. But here comes the Gnar. What? An ulti by ZAMULEK. And LeQu will be falling as well. Double kill for the Zhao.
That was so chaotic, and it might not even be done yet because Keduii wants more on his KDA.
Yeah, wants to try and farm up some more kills here, but the spears just can't connect from Chris, and seaz is jumping in, but he knows he's comfortable. He knows he can jump to the rest of his team. Spear by Chris barely tickles the AD carry for Big. Dragon number 2 looking to get started up here. seaz does hit a cheeky spear, but has that jump to get over the wall. Just waiting for it, actually. Finds himself a jungler and able to jump back to safety towards his own jungler. Dragon number 2 secured, and we're looking at a mountain soul for this game. It could be a fairly early one at that.
This is gonna be a huge problem. If it's a mountain soul and it goes to the side of Big as well, they're already so damn beefy. Chris, not again!
Charm, it works like a charm because he's been knocked up, he's been taunted up. Justice Punch, the CC chain, way too big, and Big 13-2 right now. They are putting a statement in versus Illuminar. And remember, Illuminar need this win, otherwise that's it.
All right, so this fight is very chaotic, and I will explain why in just a second. So Rika gets caught, he goes very low HP. Remember, this is the guy that you want to jump in, and then when Melonik gets into the fight, he has no Gnar bar. And as this fight keeps going on and unfolds, you see that Melonik is trying to desperately fill in his Gnar bar, but everyone is avoiding him. Everyone is avoiding the Yodel. He cannot get his rage bar to the full to transform. It's a chaos because his entire team is split and he's going back and forth trying to find the targets, trying to find the rage bar, and he only finds at the very, very, very end of this fight and ends up with a really big Mega Gnar that ends up costing the life of Escik and LeQu. But all in all, you see how it was so close for Illuminar to be turned around. As for the rest to follow, I feel like Chris has been playing a little bit overzealous. He plays as if he's a little bit ahead, and at this point, he's extremely behind. And he's playing in the front line most of the time, having the proto build as well here. He's going for the burst damage, but in all honesty, I'm not seeing who could potentially be burst down right here. Sandra on Melonik. Akabane almost has his second item completed. They're trying to even hit Xayah, but it's not working, man.
It turns out it was a defensive proto belt. He uses that to get away. The Ignite goes down, and Akabane able to slide in and secure the kill. Meanwhile, that's one dead Crocodile. The Gale Force from Keduii will secure the kill. I think they're just toying with their food at this point. It feels rough.
I have to say,
24,000 gold to 31,000 gold. And they've only taken one tower, so there's a lot of locked gold to expand this gold lead even more.
Yeah, I have to say, Big has been playing the tower dives so well. The coordination, the tower swap, the tower aggro swaps have been impeccable. The timing could not be greater. You see someone tanks, falls behind someone else, the triple man dive where the Nidalee and the Renekton was there, they couldn't do nothing because they played the swap so well. And again, Big at just reading the map so much better. They knew exactly what Chris's Nidalee needed to do. They shut it down instantly. And Chris, with the few, questionable over-aggressive moves, hasn't been able to make it better for himself.
Yeah, I completely agree. Big are just playing incredibly well in this game, and, looking to try and contest that first spot. We'll have to beat Fnatic later to have a chance of contesting that, as they did lose their first game of Group C to Fnatic Rising. But a win here over Illuminar. Yeah, a team they've already beaten, so going 2-0 versus them will make Illuminar's... it's impossible, right? If I remember right.
It's impossible. They can't make it. They need this win for a chance to maybe make it to the quarterfinals. If they lose here, we have to say goodbye to Ultra League Illuminar.
That is not what they want.
Chris doesn't even scratch Xayahs. This is so sad.
It's a very bizarre build. I mean, you look at ZAMULEK as well. We just got a lot of shots off into Rika, and sure, the magic shield is a little bit deceptive.
Oh,
still
the
barely off
Renekton
the health, and they're never going to jump in. Look at that knockup. Look at the Galio. And Escik is just zoned away by Akabane, and the taunt's going to land onto the Crocodile. He can find a bit of time. A massive Gnar back by Melonik. Chris goes down as well. Big just wiped 3 off the map, wiped 4 off the map with a snap of their fingers. Illuminar are just evaporated.
I think at this point in time, I would say if it was a best-of series, yeah, you have to think of ways to come back with your next draft, with your next game, but I'm sorry, Illuminar, there's not going to be a next game, at least versus Big, and there's not going to be no quarterfinals, at least not inside right now, because 10,000 gold lead, 18 minutes into the game, Big are just way too far ahead, and I have to commend Illuminar for their tries. They know that they need to make something happen right now before the second items are completed for the side of Big, on the 1 mythic, 1.5. They have to try and make something happen. They tried to catch the Rakan, but the Galio is just around the corner. You see the flank TP from LeQu as well. And LeQu, when he goes in, you see that he's a big crocodile. He goes in, he zones, he does a bunch of damage, but man, it's just not enough because the rest of the team has been torn apart by an Akabane that's chasing them, and just cannot get that wombo combo that we were talking about with the Renekton, the Shockwave, and the Rell.
Just nothing they could do there. And, we talked a little bit about the combo that Illuminar have, but it's now 11,000 gold down. even if you land that combo, you're just not doing the damage. You're talking 3.5 item Xayah versus a 1 item ZAMULEK with a longsword. He is so far behind his counterpart. And Chris as well, on this Nidalee, needed to snowball, unable to really offer the team anything and won't be able to offer the team anything. It's not like the Kennons we've seen that have kind of, you know, lost lane and then showed up into a team fight and turned the state of the game. What is the Nidalee going to do? The Nidalee's not going to lock a whole team down and find all that burst. And like you said, who are you killing? Keduii's like the only killable target, but he's got ulti. It's so hard to punish.
I feel like, oh man, ZAMULEK, get out, man.
ZAMULEK, CC is too big. Rika comes in with the Everfrost and just gives him a quick shot to take him down. Charm, able to flash the wall, but
surprise!
Oh my word, that damage was kind of bonkers. As Keduii able to find himself a kill. 22 kills. They've had more than a kill a minute right now for Big. It is, unfortunately, an incredibly rough game for the Polish second seed, and they are looking at their dreams of making it further into this tournament evaporating before their very eyes. As Baron Nashor started up 21 minutes into the game, and I don't think there's going to be an ability to stop this from Illuminar.
1-5 is the scoreline for the strongest champion on the Rift, which right now, the current stats with the current items is Renekton. Now, if
But
that one,
Illuminar's strongest champion.
If the 1-5 was an Aurelia, I could see it turning around because this champion does shine later on in the fights. But it being a Renekton, there's only so much you can do, and you can see that Illuminar cannot even walk inside the jungle. They know that the Baron's most likely gonna be going down. They try to put down some vision. It's just impossible. And even though when you think you have made it away with your flash, Akabane is just going to be your biggest nightmare, following you even if you close your eyes. So Big are just so far ahead. They're using their advantage right here, and they're literally slapping Illuminar with golden coins in the face.
I mean, golden coins or the entire bank vault, you take your pick. They are
It's the whole
so
safe.
far ahead right now. They've just turned up with a bank. And it looks like they're going to cash in as Chris. Yeah, you're knocked up. Oh, what an entrance. What a combo. Xayah will lose his life. And Akabane sliding around. The Buster shot is kind of big, but Rika coming in with a taunt on the 2. And here is the rest of Big. Escik is running to the wind, as he will survive for now, but Chris flashing out, Big chasing down, and Chris able to survive for now. But I think Illuminar are aware that this might be a little bit donezo.
While this whole thing was going on, you would see on the map ZAMULEK was trying to stop the mid lane wave, and Melonik actually TPs on that mid lane wave to stop ZAMULEK from killing the Tristana. Very well aware of what's going on. What is ZAMULEK doing between tier 1 and tier 2? He's chilling.
I think he's trying to catch the wave that isn't there. I mean, that's my only assumption right now. This game has been insanely one-sided. Big, with over a kill per minute, will be looking to knock Illuminar out of any contention to make it into playoffs. As Big take the win. 23 minutes on the clock, 26 kills on the board.
That was so decisive, honestly. Huge congratulations to Big, first of all, for locking in quarterfinals together with Fnatic Rising. And the only thing that we have to find out now is which seed Fnatic Rising and Big are going to take later on. Of course, commiserations for Ultra Liga's Illuminar. I felt like Big read the situation so well from draft, and they executed into getting Chris behind, and that was textbook. The dives, the ganks, setting Nidalee behind, reading where that Nidalee is on the map. It was beautiful to watch.
Honestly, Big looking a little bit scary, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. They just, like, there was nothing Illuminar could do. Their comp just had no answer. Anyway, we are going to throw ourselves to a break, and when we're back, we'll have a little bit more of a talk about that game, so we'll see you in a moment.
It's gonna flash in, and he steals the bomb. How did that connect by entry?
Fini! As EU Masters Champions!
everybody, and welcome back to the Amazon EU Masters. We're coming fresh off a very, very one-sided game where Big completely stomped Illuminar. It's the only way to word it. And unfortunately, that does mean that Illuminar have been knocked out of any playoff contention. They do still have a game coming up after this versus Z10, but this was just such a one-sided game. And I have questions on why Chris went Nidalee first.
I mean, they clearly had a plan. I just felt like they needed maybe a stronger mid lane to pair up with the Nidalee, something AD, something that would have the all-in potential. I don't know, something like a Yone, something like a Yasuo, something that's just AD and pairs up really well, so you have a lane to play through, not just the Renekton, you can play it through your mid lane as well. I felt like we didn't necessarily see too much of the Orianna. The bot lane was losing a lot to the Xayah Rakan as well. Big just read the map so well. They knew where Nidalee was going to start from. They knew that he was going to have a detour because he lost a topside scuttle. So Akabane took that time for a beautiful dive up top lane, which caused the teleport for the Renekton. And everything snowballed out of control when you have the double global with the teleport and the R from the Galio, and he can join fights, but then the other counterpart from Illuminar could enjoy the fights, and also the Orianna takes a while to scale and create that beautiful, huge shockwave that kills someone. And again, I failed to see how a Nidalee first pick would have made a huge difference here, unless the Renekton snowballed completely and utterly out of control, which it didn't. It was a small disaster, and I think we very rarely see teams run away with it as easy as Big did this game. Especially when they took the slightest of leads, they just completely run them down.
Well, a very big win for Big, excuse the pun, but that does also mean a pretty big win for Fnatic Rising, because this also means that they are technically now qualified for the playoffs.
You mean we have someone for an interview?
We might have someone.
Someone that the chat really likes?
We have Fnatic Rising's head coach, D-Lord, standing by for an interview. D-Lord, been a little while since we've had a chat. How you doing, mate? First of all, congratulations on qualifying. How confident are you, though, playing versus Big after watching that last game?
Thank you. How confident are we? I mean, we won first game, but still they are in the same office. We are in the same office. We are in the big office, so I need to be careful with the statements, because my country is like 3 hours travel time from this point, so I need to be really careful with my words. But I mean, they are really great people. They are really great team, and we're gonna have a banger game, I believe, and I hope the viewers will be happy with the performances that players gonna approach, and I hope we will not int drafts as well. So
yeah, I mean, also let's kind of talk about, you know, looking now to quarterfinals. Is there any teams that you are excited to potentially be playing? Who have you got your eyes on?
I mean, everyone is strong, I would say. So I think it does not matter to me that much. We are in the playoffs, I believe, right now, and I'm really happy with this. And we will just take it step by step in the next phase. And of course, we need to still see what seed are we gonna be representing, let's say, from our group. But I think we can lose against anyone and win against anyone. So that's for sure a knowledge that will help us keep going, and we will start from this, I think.
Awesome, mate. Well, congratulations on making it, and good luck with your game versus Big. Hopefully, you know, win or lose, things in that office will be nice and fun.
Wait,
on that,
interview's
when
over?
that all goes down.
Wait, listen, you look like an imposter, man. You're wearing the Fnatic jersey, but behind you it says Big, and under it says Go Big, so...
I mean, look, guys, first of all, thank you for your work here. It's really great that people from regional leagues can have some spotlight, and I'm really grateful that you guys are doing this and covering this and casting this. And I'm thankful to also other orgs. And if I could say pozdrawiam Gorilli for my fans from Poland, then that would be great. Thank you very much.
They're all over the chat, mate. They're all over the chat cheering for you. Thank you.
Awesome, mate. Thank you for that. We'll speak to you later, all right?
See ya.
See you later, mate. Well, we're gearing up and getting ready to go into our fifth game. I'm having a complete brain fart. We're going to get ready to go into our fifth game of the day. It's Z10 taking on Illuminar. Now, both of these teams technically knocked out, but we do still, you know, have to play this game out. So we might be in for a little bit of a clown fiesta.
Some fun.
I hope it's bonkers. We'll see you after this break.